Hey everybody, I'm in post-production on this video right now and notice a few things. One, I quoted the price wrong. It was not $149.95, it's $199 and change. And I will have an affiliate link in the show description for getting it from Amazon if you desire. I got mine from Sweetwater. I want to thank my sales rep over there. Skylar did a great job getting this to me quickly. But until I get affiliate links for them, I'm going to go ahead and post them to Amazon. And if you want to buy from them, it'll send a few pennies here. Secondly, I noticed there was a lot of choppiness in the video. I don't know why, but I spent a long time on pre-production and 20 minutes of recording that video, so I'm not about to go back and redo it now. I just want to apologize in advance for what you're going to see. The sound appears to be good. It's just there is some choppiness, stuttering in the video. So let's get back to what was originally going to be the video. Hey everybody, it's Rascal, and we are in for another guitar gear review. Today I'm going to talk about these bad boys right here. These are new from Positive Grid in the last, I want to say, 30-45 days, and they are the Spark Neo wireless headphones. It's an actual headphone amp for you. So I could be practicing right now, and I could be hearing massive distortion, all sorts of effects, but nobody else is hearing anything except what's coming off the guitar itself. So let's go ahead and take a peek at these and find out what's in the box and what all the controls and ports are. Here we go. So here we've got the box for the Spark Neo. A couple of pictures of it on the side, but let's put that and look at what came in the box. Here is the Spark Neo, I guess you want to call it card. There's no manual. This is all you get. So this side, a QR code to get the Spark app, and then tells you use that app to connect to the headphones, and a little bit of safety instructions. Here is a single USB-C to USB-C cable. We'll talk more about that later. And this is the wireless transmitter. It's a 2.4 gigahertz wireless transmitter, similar to other systems. It's not Bluetooth. It's basically 2.4 gigahertz. And here's the headphones themselves. Pretty sturdy. You've got nice cushion here on the ear pads. Also up here for the top. I like that. Adjustable, obviously both sides to fit. You can see how they flip around. On this side, you've got the core controls for the guitar. The center button here will let you go ahead and choose between the 4 built-in tones, and then the other 2 buttons are volume down and volume up for guitar only. I got 2 ports, USB-C for charging and for doing firmware updates, and that's actually an instrument in. We'll talk more about that later too. This button will turn it on and help pair Bluetooth to your phone or tablet, and that's for turning on and off the wireless to the wireless transmitter, which also has a button on it to go ahead and mute. As I said earlier, this can be used to go ahead and turn on Bluetooth pairing for a phone. So there's the headphones. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about them here. All right, if you are new to the Positive Grid Spark line of amps, then you don't know about this really cool app they have. As you can see right here, I've got the phone mirrored on my screen, or my camera, and I'm attached to the headphones right now. So let's go ahead and get out of this screen and take a look at what makes all the magic happen. Now there are 4 built-in presets, as I said. Right now it's on channel 4, but if I go ahead and tap through these, you can see it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Each one had a different amp on it, as well as some other effects. So let's just go ahead and deep dive into high gain right now. So you've got an amp there, and there's 30-something amps you could choose from. If I double tap on this, I get a whole bunch of amps I can scroll through and choose. Now they are using generic names, But if you go to the website, they do have a nice little table that tells you which one relates to what kind of real world amp. You can also go through and change your effects. One thing I like about this is I'm going to tap on the little button here, like I would with my foot, and that turns on and off that actual effect. You can even go ahead and slide your finger up and down on one of the dials to change its levels. You can go ahead and change out what's post amp. I can get rid of the EQ and put in maybe a chorus or vibrato. So a lot of flexibility there. And again, here I am playing on a very high gain setup, and all you people are hearing while I'm practicing right now is that's all you hear. I'm hearing all sorts of distortion and everything else. So that is the app itself, and not only do you have those built-ins, you can go ahead and pull down the menu here, go through some of the presets for, and again, these have different names that are very generic, but I've actually gone ahead and gotten some other ones from the cloud. You can go ahead and say, I'm looking for something that is, I don't know, pick a song, any song. Let's go Stone in Love. That's got a unique sound. So a couple different ones that are on here. It shows you who's created it, who's favorited it, how many downloads. Looks like this one by Brad Price has 2,191. So I'm going to go ahead and download that one. Shows you what amp it has, shows you the effects it's using, and you can go ahead and follow this person if you like. Brad, I'm going to go ahead and follow you. You got 13 shared presets. I'll look at the rest later. So now if I go ahead and come back to my amp, you can go ahead and see it shows that amp, that drive, that gate, and then that reverb and delay. So, and that one will go ahead and hopefully sound a lot like the tones used for that song, Stone in Love. Now let's talk about a few other things on the actual headset itself, and then we'll go ahead and I'll show you what these sound like. I don't have one of those fancy dummies with microphones in it or fancy dual microphone. I think it's called binaural is what they're called, to go ahead and capture what headphones sound like. So I'm going to fake it by taking the exact 4 tones that are baked into this and playing them through a Spark 2. So let's talk a little bit more about this, and then I'll give you a little sample of what the tones sound like. So headphones, nice and comfortable. And as you saw, I'm easily just going ahead and changing the 4 presets by, pressing that one button. You've got the ability to go ahead and take any of these other sounds. So let's say I've, found that one I liked really much. See, that was the new Journey Stone in Love. If I really like that one a heck of a lot, I could go ahead and save that. Let's go over here. Yes. I can go ahead and overwrite that after I make some changes. I could save it as a new tone. I could share it to Tone Cloud after I modify it, delete it off my phone, or actually save it to one of those 4 hardware presets. So you're not tied into the 4 that came with it. You can go ahead and create your own and have those for you to choose from. You can also go ahead and have backing tracks. You can go ahead and find backing tracks that they provide. Here's some from Steve Vai. Or you can go ahead and get some from YouTube videos. You even have AI to help you pick a tone. So we'll look at that a little bit later once I go ahead and hook up to an amp. So what else about this? We said we're going to talk about a few things. 1, charging cable. You got to charge 2 things. You got to charge the transmitter. You got to charge the headphones. I hope I'm not screaming with these things on. But you only have 1 charging cable. So I kind of think that's a drawback. I know why they didn't use a 2-headed charging cable like they did for their other wireless products. Looks very similar, doesn't it? That's because you've got to use the USB-C to do any kind of firmware updates on this device. So Yeah, they didn't want to go ahead and confuse, data going over two different ends, stuff like that. But maybe they should have included either a second charging cable for you, or I would say go ahead and have one of those splitters. They can go ahead and have, you come off of here and it splits out to two. That way you can go ahead and charge both the headset and the transmitter at the same time. So maybe next time, maybe they'll offer those who purchased it a cool free thing. They'll say, I don't know. I'm making all this up. What else do I want to point out? Oh, yes. So we talked about the fact that this has a connector on it. Let me show you. That one right there for plugging in an instrument cable. Why, you say? I mean, there's a couple of reasons. One, this transmitter is 2.4 gigahertz, so you've got a lot of interference in the area. Like if you're right next to a Wi-Fi router or something like that, then you're going to possibly get interference. That would suck. So you could run a small cable from your guitar up to here. I don't know. Why else would you want to use a cable? Maybe if you just don't want any signal loss whatsoever or any delay. I don't experience any using this. It is next to no delay. So let's see what else about this. Does fold up nice and pretty. There you can go. They also will fold flat if you have a different kind of carrying case. Fold them flat. Hold them flat like this if you want to. So a lot of different ways you can go ahead and get these inside your bag, but they are not that big. They are a little heavier than regular headphones, only because there's a little bit more built into this. You've got an amp built into this and some other stuff. What else? Oh, hey, the looper functionality that's baked into the new Spark 2 is not in here. There's just not enough. I don't know, the battery would go very fast if you were to try to implement a looper into that. And last but not least, can it work with a whatchamacallit, a wireless pedal that they sell? They do sell two. I've got one over here. Let me grab it. This is the Spark Control X, and sure enough, you can pair this to the headphones and switch channels if you like. So that's handy. You can go ahead and turn on or off effects. All the cool things you can normally do with that with the Spark amp, you can do with this. So with that said, let's go ahead and pair this over to the Spark 2 now. So I can give you just a hint at what those tones sound like. Let's see here. Come over here to the Spark 2, connect. There you go, easy peasy. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the transmitter and receiver, transmitter. And I've gone ahead and mimicked the four tones, yikes, the four built-in tones, should have muted that, huh? That come inside the Spark Neo. So let's go ahead and come over here to, I stored them in rock, and let's go through them. I don't have this mic'd, I don't have this going in, line in. You're hearing just raw room sound. And speaking of raw, my playing is not great. I'm coming along in my studies, but I'm just going to go ahead and do a few chords and give you guys an idea what things sound like. So here is the Spark Neo's clean. If I turn on that, it might be even better. See a few other chords. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is some reverb in there and some delay. Next up is the crunch tone. Again, I can hear reverb and delay in there, but you can actually hear how it crosses the line into crunch territory. Now we're going to get into some really higher gain stuff. Solo has a lot of processing on it, as you'll hear. Ready? So we definitely cross past the crunch tones. but I kind of like a little extra. Although you got to be very careful. I may have to work on the noise gate on that one because you can definitely pick up a lot of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, you hear all that? Yeah, I can't play much of anything, so I don't want to get any copyright strikes. Now, the high gain actually doesn't have that much more gain than the solo, but it has a lot less of the reverb and delay. And then let's go and try that one tone I downloaded before from the cloud. Journey's Stone in Love. Let's see. I think there's better ones out there. I think I had found one previously that might sound a little bit better than that, but I haven't tweaked the EQ on this one yet. So that gives you a feel for, the sounds that come with it and the sounds you can use or create or find for this. There's a lot more to do inside the Spark app, but I don't want to go ahead and, bog this whole video down with that. I think what's most important is knowing that it's there, getting an idea for the 4 tones that you can get out of it just by pressing that button on the side, and, what this device does. So let's talk about the pros and the cons. All right, so the pro, it's pretty small to bring with you. It's practically self-contained. I mean, you just, carry this and a cable. Make sure you've got a power brick handy as you're traveling, and you've got yourself a quiet rig bringing, to a hotel or whatever else, guest room you're staying in. So you're barely bothering anybody, but you get to play. Now, of course, you need to bring a guitar with you, and I cannot stress enough how much I love, really should have muted that, shouldn't I? There we go. How I love the Steinberger guitars. This is very small, got a nice soft case for it. Fits in an overhead bin on an airplane. So the Donners are nice too. I was looking at the Hush Pro X. So take that with you, and you've got a nice practice rig. What else did I love about this? The flexibility of not having to use the app if you don't want to. Those 4 basic tones are pretty good. Or you can, like I said, create the ones you like, save them to those hardware presets, and you've got something you can go ahead and, that's custom made for you. Let's see. I have experienced a little bit of dropout, and that is because in this room there is so much wireless technology going on. That's on the 5.8 and the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum that I do experience dropouts. The folding of this does allow you to go ahead and fold to fit different guitar input jacks, and I've not found one that it does not work with. Works with my Fender Stratocaster, obviously my Les Pauls. So I find that to be very good. The battery life on this, I think the headphones I rated for 6 hours of play. This has not let me down. We talked about the fact that this only has 1 cable, so that's a little bit of a drawback. But I've got plenty of USB-C cables. And they don't come with a brick, but nothing does nowadays. I mean, my phone didn't, so no big deal. So a few minor things on that. I don't know if I would call them cons so much as I would just call them not perfects. The sound on this is great for both guitar and for regular audio. Again, you can play that audio for background tracks to practice to a song. And then you've also got the ability to just listen to music. You could pair this straight to the phone and listen to music. The negative on that one, I mentioned earlier, is that there are no controls on here to go next track, previous track, volume up, and volume down. So you would have to have your phone handy to go ahead and do that. So this is not going to replace a great set of headphones if that's the primary thing you want them for, but if that's your secondary, then I think you're onto something there. So for the price, which I believe is, what is it, 149.95 right now, I'll double check, and if I'm incorrect, I'll go ahead and put it somewhere here on the screen. I think it's a great deal. It's a great practice amp, whether you're at home trying to stay quiet or while you're traveling. It's very comfortable and very flexible. So I would give this a thumbs up. It's definitely worth it for somebody who needs to practice quietly, whether, again, like I said, you're at home or you're away. And if you're already in the Spark ecosystem, then you know exactly how to use the app. You can see I've got quite a few here. So this is really good for somebody who's already been using Spark and now wants to have a cool wireless headset to take with them. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll find out when new videos drop. And if you leave a comment, I respond to every single comment that's left on my videos, good, bad, or otherwise. It lets me know that you've watched it, lets me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And if you actually do buy this product after watching this review, I don't have any cool affiliate links. Maybe I might see if I can set one up from Amazon. I don't have any yet with any guitar places like Sweetwater or Guitar Center. So if I can find one, I'll put it in the video description. And if you click that and get it from Amazon, I get a few pennies. You don't pay any extra. Kind of helps fund the channel. So thanks again for watching. I hope you found this informative, maybe even enjoyable, and have a great day. Thanks.